I am Batman. I mean, Average Sniper.
Hey, what's up guys? Average Sniper here, just bringing you another Battlefield 1 video. And today I want to talk to you about vehicles. One of my favorite things about Battlefield. See, I came from Call of Duty where you couldn't drive vehicles around, unless of course you had some kind of kill streak going on, but it still wasn't the same. When I first started playing Battlefield back in the day, I was kind of annoyed by when I got killed by vehicles, and I thought everybody should be, a ground soldier on foot. But now I am a huge fan of vehicles, and I want to talk to you today about some of my favorite ones, and or pretty much all of them, and which ones are my favorite, why they're my favorite, and I also want to see in the comments you guys tell me what vehicles are your favorite and why. I just love reading that, and I'm sorry I can't respond to all the comments, guys. I'm just so busy all the time between working and playing and making these videos, but I do go through and read every comment on my videos. So please feel free to comment and know that I will see it. Alright, so we're starting out with the artillery truck. Now the artillery truck is not a vehicle that I used very much at all when Battlefield 1 first came out. In fact, I didn't like it very much because you can't have any players in with you to help you repair or support you. It's just a solo man vehicle, and I'm not too big on the solo man vehicles, but I do see how it can be very good, because this cannon on this artillery truck is amazing. It has got great velocity, and it seems to be even more powerful than the cannons on the heavy tanks. That might just be my imagination, but that's what it seems like. You can also aim in with it and get a crosshair like it's a sniper scope for long range. Now I see a lot of people camping these things on the spawn, and I think the reason for that is, one, because you can't have any support in the vehicle with you to help you repair or defend you, so people don't like to get too close to the enemy, because if there's a lot of assault players, they will just blast you to smithereens and you won't be able to do anything about it. It's really easy to kill an artillery truck as a single assault player if you can sneak up behind it. Now the gun, the main gun is a machine gun, but it cannot swivel 360. But this right here, this cannon, can swivel 360 degrees, so you got that going for you too. It just takes a while to reload, and that's why I like the artillery truck. I've been using it a lot more than I used to because of how powerful this cannon is, and the 360 swivel, and being able to go from place to place really fast. Let's move on to my current favorite, which is the land ship. Now it's not just any land ship. All these vehicles have different variants that you can use, and this one is the Tank Hunter land ship. It comes equipped with dual tank gevers, which are basically it's the same rifle you find when you're playing as the Tank Hunter when you pick that kit up. And the reason I say it comes with dual is because if you press the button to switch weapons to your secondary, it'll put you facing the rear. So if somebody sneaks up behind you, you have another gun just like the one in the front ready to go. I like to call this one the skill tank, because I think it does take a lot of skill to be able to hit these shots, because it's not explosive. This is basically a sniper rifle built into the tank, and is really effective at shooting infantry, and especially at taking out other vehicles from pretty far away. This Tank Hunter gun does so much damage to other vehicles, it's almost no competition. Now, another thing I like about this land ship with the Tank Hunter, or just the land ship in general, is that you can have players in with you. In this particular one, you can have two other players in with you, and they both get these massive cannons to use. So if you go up against another vehicle, like a heavy tank, a light tank, or even another land ship, you can have a huge advantage just by having teammates with you that can help you use the guns and get, so much damage in. So you can do some damage with your tank gewehr gun right on the front there, and your buddies on the sides can do damage with the cannons, and you can take out vehicles within 2 shots if everybody does it at the same time. It's crazy. One of the downsides to it though is that you cannot, when your teammates are shooting the cannons, it kind of jumps your aim a little bit because of the recoil on it. And the whole tank seems to jump a little bit when that happens, so you have to kind of time your shots in between when your teammates are shooting, which can be difficult at times. But I have really been enjoying this land ship. It is really hard to use when you're playing by yourself I mean, any vehicle, if you don't have a team supporting you, is going to be difficult if the other team gets tired of you getting all these kills and decides to attack you. Or if you're like me and you're a heavy objective player and you almost always have your vehicle close or directly on the objective. You definitely want team support, because even though you're protected by the vehicle, once you have one squad or even just 2 or 3 people that get it into their mind, I'm tired of this guy in the tank, we're going to take him out. It is very easy for them to do so if they can get close enough with their anti-tank grenades, rockets, and landmines. Very easy to take out vehicles in this game. So what I have here, and what I usually have when I'm using vehicles, is I have my friends that are willing to help repair and stay in the side guns to help shoot those pesky infantry players that sneak up on you and try to take you out. So as you can see here, this gun is just amazing. You don't even have to lead your targets that much with it. As you can see, I am blasting this bomber, and he just gets taken out after 4 shots from the main tank of air, and there were some infantry shooting at him as well. So this is my current favorite just because it's basically the sniper tank, and I can't believe I didn't use this sooner, but hey, you know what? There you go. Sniper tank, land ship, tank of air. Oh man, it's so awesome. Next up we have the light tank. This is probably my least used because it takes a lot of damage when it gets hit, and it takes a long time to repair. Not any longer than any of the other vehicles, but it doesn't have a built-in instant repair that I know of. And I don't know, I just don't find it very practical on most of the maps. And you can't fit any other teammates in with you to help you repair, so you're pretty much on your own, kind of like the artillery truck. There's some different variants of this tank. I believe this one is the light flanker, and it gives you the machine guns on both your weapons. One of them is a little different variant of a machine gun that's better at shooting infantry. The other one is more suited toward vehicles or close range infantry. But it is definitely a beastly weapon in the right hands. I've seen some guys that are basically pros at using the light tanks that can go the entire match without getting destroyed, play up on the objective, and just take infantry out like crazy. You can even take other vehicles out with this. With this variant, it just takes a few extra shots. So that's the light tank. It can swivel 360 degrees on the main gun, which I guess is another good thing. And it does seem, I don't know, it does seem to be a little faster than the other tanks, but I'm not 100% sure about that, because I have had some repair guys chasing me around, and it was like really hard to get away from them. But it is good at escaping, I guess, which I'm going to show you right here. I pulled up on Objective Charlie with my squad, and what happens is, as we start taking them out, my squad gets killed off, and it's just me and the light tank, and the enemies keep spawning in here because they own the objective. Even though I killed a whole bunch of them, they just keep coming, and I'm able to make a crazy escape in the light tank, which makes me think either I'm moving faster because I'm going downhill, or maybe it does move just a little faster than the heavy tanks, which would make sense because, I mean, it is a light tank. It is much lighter in weight than the heavy tanks. The only reason I use this light tank was to get this footage with it. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the light tank. I prefer the heavy tanks that you can have your team support in. But right here, it starts to get a little crazy. These guys are pissed because I am wrecking them at Charlie in this little light tank. This guy tries to throw the limpet and missed, and he gets owned. And then I look up the hill, and I'm like, oh my god, they're all chasing me. I shoot this guy, and I keep backing up, and I'm like, maybe I can get one more. Look at all of them. What are they doing? I don't know. That is nuts. But they were chasing me, and I actually ended up getting away from that. I didn't even say anything to my teammates because I was like, did that really just happen? Was there like 2 or 3 squads up there just trying to destroy my light tank all at once? That was crazy. Could not believe I got away. I like switching between the first person and the third person view in pretty much all the tanks. I switch to third person kind of like when I'm driving around and I need to see around me, but it can be very dangerous because in third person it's really hard to see those anti-tank mines that get thrown down. That can be a problem. Right here, I just put this moment in because I thought this was really cool. I was driving up to try and kill this guy hiding here, and then all of a sudden I'm like, what is that noise? And it's the blimp coming down. Holy crap, that was insane. That still gets me. The blimp coming down still gets me. I still like watching that. But you know what? Maybe you don't prefer any of those vehicles. Maybe you prefer the heavy tank, which before I discovered the sniper tank, which is the land ship tank hunter, This baby right here was my absolute favorite. This thing is a beast. This is probably the best tank to use for an explosive tank in the whole tanking category, in my opinion. You can, once you figure out the velocity on the gun, you can take people out. It has several different variants. Some of the most popular is the basic variant, which is my favorite right now. You can fit, I believe, up to 5 people in. Maybe no. You can fit up to 6 people in the tank, which is amazing. And then the second one I see that's pretty popular would be the flame tank, which allows the passengers to shoot flames out of it, which is pretty awesome. You just basically barbecue entire objectives, which is probably pretty practical for the way I play, because I'm always up on the objective with my tanks. That's how I get blown up, is I play the objective. But in pretty much all these clips, when I have a tank that can support teammates, I have very supportive teammates with me that are repairing me every time I get shot, and they're also shooting enemies out that I can't see from the side and the back. So that is the heavy tank. Very amazing once you get used to the velocity on it, and very powerful, especially at killing infantry and other vehicles. It works great. Most of the time you can just shoot the ground or the wall right under or behind the enemy, and it's just gonna massacre them, so you do not have to get direct hits with it. And then maybe, just maybe, you don't prefer to tank at all. You prefer to pilot. I would say right now my favorite plane is the attack plane, the ground support attack plane. There's different variants of it, of course. You know, you have the airship buster and then the tank hunter. I find that the most practical one to use when dealing with other planes and infantry in the attack plane category is the ground support attack plane. You can use the machine gun to shoot infantry and drop bombs. It's not very effective against tanks on the ground, but it is effective. The machine gun is effective against other planes if you can figure out the muzzle velocity, because it is so slow. It feels like you're throwing rocks when you're shooting at another plane. So I like to get real close to the other plane and then just start shooting them before they know what's happened, damage their wing so that they can't fly away, and then finish them off in my next burst, because I usually can't finish them off in my very first burst because I'm not the best pilot and I miss a couple shots. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really looking forward to seeing the comments from you guys on what your favorite vehicle is and why. And I will see you guys in the next video or the next live stream. Once again, thank you very much for watching. You guys make this possible, and I really appreciate that. I'll see you guys next time. Later.